We got hitters, we got pitchers, and we got prospects. If you're trying to win, you need to get them. Let's talk about it. Before I start talking about the pitchers, I have 3 pitchers for you guys, plus some honorable mentions. Before we get to it, I do want to remind you, if you have never subscribed to the show before, please do it now. When we look at the stats all the time, it says how many viewers are subscribed, how many were not subscribed. It's always like 80, 90% not subscribed. So those who are subscribing, thank you very much. If you haven't yet, please do so. It means the world to us. If you're already subscribed, you know the deal. Hit that like button, drop a comment. No comment goes unanswered, no question, no nothing. So drop it in the comments. We will talk about it. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the pitchers. Our first pitcher on the list today is Yilber Diaz. I know he gave up 4 hits, a run, a walk, 5 strikeouts versus the Braves in his very first game since being called up to the majors. Obviously, that doesn't stamp him as a must-start ace for you, but it's still low-key impressive versus the Braves. Diaz is no doubt worth a pickup for those who need pitching help right now. He had some tough moments in the game, but he got himself out of those jams. Honestly, he looked kind of poised out there. Impressive in the minor leagues, really solid start in the majors. That's some solid potential right there. Pick him up off of waivers and get Mr. Diaz on your team ASAP. The next pitcher here, you guys know I try to slide Mets in here when it calls for it, and I'm always happy when it does. Christian Scott. Now, I know the Mets, even though they're playing a little better right now, don't exactly provide you with confidence in their players, especially when it's come to pitching this year. It's been rough all season for them. Even when the team is winning, it's just the hitting that seems to really get them there. But Christian Scott has provided a spark. He has provided us some hope. It's nice to see a young pitcher matter, and in that bullpen, he's not perfect. He's not a strikeout ace, but he does keep hits and runs somewhat tolerable, under control. So the wins should start to come for Scott. That means they'll start piling up for you as well. Get Scott in your lineups. The next pitcher on the list is Shane Baz, the Rays. I know we're Taj Bradley boys over here. You know that's who we represent. It feels like I'm cheating by saying another Rays pitcher, but I can't ignore the, what needs to be said. So there are a few pitchers in Tampa worth talking about. You can add Shane Baz to that list. He wasn't perfect in his return from the minor league rehabs, but he did flash some of his stuff that we were hoping to see. Baz is the perfect pitcher to pick up, rely on to provide you with some solid stuff for the rest of the season, especially if you're assuming that he's only going to get better as he starts to shake some of that rust off. Get Shane Baz on your rosters. Now, I am going to hit you with 2 honorable mentions for each category here for hitters and pitchers, because I know sometimes I give these names, but there's still people who have questions in the comments or they want to mention someone that maybe they feel like I missed. So you're still free to do that. But hopefully, giving you these honorable mentions helps out a little bit. The first one is Jeffrey Springs. The Rays pitchers, man, I just can't, I can't stop talking about them. Had high hopes for him before the injuries. He's bouncing back in the rehab games. It might be a mixed bag when he first returns, but again, kind of like Baz, once that rust is gone, it should be good. He should only get better. And the other guy is Spencer Swellenbach. He's not crushing it by any means, don't get me wrong, but he did have a good game in his last outing. He has some potential in the second half of the season. Let's waste no time. Let's jump to the hitters. Now, our first hitter on the list is Jhonkensy Noel. Don't let the strikeouts scare you away. Noel has impressive power that the Guardians won't ignore, regardless of the strikeouts. He's a young player. As long as he continues to show power, the team will keep playing him, even if these strikeouts are a little more than we want to see. Noel has multiple position eligibility, and he's oozing with potential. So get him on your rosters. That bat is hitting home runs. It is making some massive swings out there. Get him on your rosters. The next guy on our list is Jose Miranda. Now, we have 2 twins on today's show, and we're starting with Jose Miranda. How he's still available after crushing like he has been, I don't know. But if nobody else in your league is a believer yet, feel free to pick up on the twin. Take advantage of the fire hitting that he has right now. As always, we never know how long these kind of streaks, these hot bats will last. So don't wait on Miranda to prove it, to see if it's going to last. Just get him off waivers and roll with it. And I said we have multiple twins on the list. The other one is Brooks Lee. You know I wouldn't leave him off, right? He's solid, solid, solid. It's a perfect word to describe Lee. He's not a monster in any particular category, but he also won't hurt your team in any major way. He's filling in for Royce Lewis now. Can't play shortstop when he returns due to Correa, but if he keeps balling the way he is, the Twins are going to have to figure out a way to keep him in the lineup. So get Lee in your lineups, roster him, pick him up off waiver wire. He is well worth it. 2 honorable mentions for hitters that you should be stashing. Colt Keith. Has there been any hotter hitter in the last 7 games than Colt Keith? I don't think there has been. Get Colt Keith on your teams. And then Rowdy Tellez. We don't know how long this is going to last. We might as well take advantage of it while he's hitting like he is right now. Again, it's going to go up and down. He has these moments, but take advantage of it while he's doing it. Now, before we get onto the prospects, which I promise you we will, you guys know we always do a weekly side mission on the episode. Last week, I asked you guys to tell me your favorite pitcher that you've had all season, whether you drafted him or whether you picked him off waivers. I had two comments that I really liked. Those are the ones that I'm going to share here on the screen. The first one is from Austin Skaggs 4184. He said his best drafted pitcher was Tariq Skubal and his best waiver pitcher was Garrett Crochet. Also, another one, it was from at Uncle Ted. He said Angel Martinez and Landon Knack. So thank you guys again for playing our side quests here on the show. It's always just another way to get you guys interacting. It's a lot of fun to see the success you guys are having or to see how you answer the question. So shout out to both of you guys. We're going to do it again this week. This week, you're asking, well, what's today's side mission? This one, I want you guys to drop in the comments the name of your favorite sleeper rest of season. So it could be a hitter, could be a pitcher, could be whatever you want. It could be both. You guys can do it however you want to do it. I like when you guys mix it up. I will share your comments again. Maybe I'll pick 1, 2, 3 of them to share on the screen here and to discuss with you guys. As always, guys, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and jump into the prospects. The first prospect is Coby Mayo for the Orioles. The only thing slowing down Coby Mayo at this point is the Orioles being loaded. I mean, is there any room for anybody on this team anymore? Is there any more room for a player filled with potential that can do everything? We've talked about this in the past. The Orioles are just stupid, stacked with talent. So while Mayo is ripping it up in AAA ball, the big league team lacks space for him to play in the majors. Whatever the plan is for the Orioles, your plan is to get Coby on your roster, get ready for the call up. Whenever it does happen, it has to happen. Get ready for it, be ahead of it, and you can use them in your lineups once that happens. And the last prospect is Dylan Cruz for the Nationals. We've been talking about another Nationals prospect lately in James Wood. It feels like it's now time to mention Cruz. The path to Cruz getting called up doesn't feel crowded as long as he keeps showing the promise that he has been. So it should happen sooner rather than later. Just because he wasn't James Wood level exciting doesn't mean that you should ignore Dylan Cruz. So get Dylan Cruz on your radars. Matter of fact, pick him up, stash him. These are those kind of prospects you don't want to miss out on. Now, I always ask you guys with the prospects, which prospect, Dylan Cruz or Coby Mayo, do you trust more right now? Which one do you trust? If you had to pick up one, maybe you already have, maybe you're about to, but if you can only pick up one, you only have one roster spot, it's going to be the guy you trust the most. Which one do you trust the most going rest of season? Coby Mayo, Dylan Cruz, and it could be because of many things, right? It could be because of the Orioles stacked situation. It could be just you don't think the other player is as good. There can be many variables. You tell me which player you trust more and why. All right, I'll check you guys out in the comments. We'll continue the conversation there. If you've gotten to this point in the episode, you guys know I love and appreciate you more than you can understand. If you aren't subscribed already, then lock in with us. What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, go ahead, hit the like button, drop us a comment. Thank you guys for joining me as always. You guys know I enjoy continuing our conversation in the comments, whether it's something we talked about, something you think I missed, something you don't agree with, something totally different, whatever it is, maybe a different kind of video you want me to create, something you want on our show, you let me know. Drop it in the comments. Drop me a line. I am Neil. This is Rival Fantasy, and we are out.